Hello everyone, and welcome to the kind of announcement video I don't like to make. This will essentially boil down to me canceling most of my previous plans. I'm having to do so for financial realities, which I'll be into in just a moment. The next few months are really just going to be about finishing up and or catching up with the games I'm currently streaming. Hades 2, Zelda, and maybe some Stardew. While also taking a little bit of time to explore Supergiant's other games. The reason for all of these changes, of course, is because of financial realities. I've made it no secret for at least the last half a year that the winter season was going to be a rough time for me. It is the most expensive period of the year as far as, especially the electric bill, but also a few other bills as well. And that has come to pass. Um, Unfortunately, that was also coupled with um, two major snows this season. We usually only get one here, but this year we got two. Major by West Tennessee standards. I imagine people for further north are laughing at the idea of like 5 inches of snow being anything major. But hear me out, right? Like Tennessee doesn't get that much, and when we do, it's usually only like once, and everyone loses their minds around here. But this year it happened twice, and I was sick twice. The first one doesn't really like count because I was only down for like a day, but the second sickness, I'm pretty sure I had the flu or something, and that messed me up for a little over a week. So, on top of my expenditures being much higher than usual, my earnings were lower, and so it's just like it's been a rough month. It never helps that DoorDash is always a bit inconsistent with earnings. I feel like that fact would have made this announcement video kind of inevitable anyway, but it's definitely sped things up. So because of that, I'm going to be looking at getting a second job or a full-time job. I'm changing my employment status. I'm not going to be doing it immediately. I'm going to be waiting until June or July is when I'll really start looking. But I guess in some respect, this announcement video is announcing the end of the current era of Alpheus TV. So it's with that in mind that I still feel confident being able to make a plan of sorts to wrap things up over the next 4 months or so. But it's like after that, it's going to be kind of a vague idea. That vague idea may solidify a bit between now and then, and I'll make another announcement video. But for now, it's just going to be about finishing up, Zelda, catching up with Hades 2, and playing through some of Supergiant's other games. Those other games, of course, being Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre. I've been curious about Supergiant's other games since pretty early on in my playthrough of the first Hades. I just wasn't sure when I was going to be able to fit them in. But since I'm canceling all of my plans to play through like 5 Zelda games, plus some spin offs, plus other things, at least for this year, I figured now's a good time, especially because prior to Hades, their games were pretty short. Like Bastion in particular, I've heard is only like 5 hours or something to that effect. So now's the time, really. Um, but yeah, for the next few months, I'm going to be sticking to the 3 days a week. I'm not going to be trying to extend the weekly schedule. Saying that though, once we get into like April, possibly May, my bill should be so far down, like the cost should be so far down that I may be able to skip DoorDash week for a couple of months. So if anything, I may end up streaming more for at least part of this period than I was previously. Uh, I will be focusing pretty much on a single game. I know Stardew isn't listed here. That's because it will remain a background game. I'm thinking about letting it have a bit of a spotlight, possibly after Pyre, like only playing Stardew for a couple of weeks before starting Hades 2 again. But that's not really set in stone, so that's why I didn't include it in the little chart here. Hades 2, I'm going to give a week or two after I come back to streaming from this current DoorDash week, and then I'm going to put it on a hiatus. I'm wanting to explore the new update a bit, the Warsong update, but I'm not wanting to get fully caught up and essentially run out of things to do. So I figure a couple of weeks, a good, 4 to 6 streams would be good for that. And then after that, I won't be moving on from one game to another until I completely wrap it up. I really do think Zelda will eat up the lion's share of this period, but Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre will definitely be done. Even if depending on how things play out, Pyre ends up pushing into the end of June into July timetable where I'm going to start hunting for a job. I still very much want to get that done before getting back to Hades 2. That's the plan for the next 4 months or so, from now until the end of June-ish. After that, I really don't have anything solid. Right now, I only have 3 games on the docket for the second half of 2025, and that's because I'm going to be, really ramping up the job hunting, and once I get a job, there's going to be a bit of an interruption in streaming, a bit of a hiatus as I settle into the new schedule and try to figure out when the best time to stream will be. But even then, whether it's full-time or I'm juggling 2 part-time jobs, I'm not going to be able to stream as regularly or as frequently as I have been currently. The month of February aside, just because I've been so sick. But yeah, that's it. Like with Hollow Knight, I'm not looking to start a new playthrough or anything. I'm gonna be focusing on the Godseeker challenges. I really think I cut myself short with that stuff a little bit. But that was partially because I had several other games going on at the time, and I wanted to not necessarily trim the fat. I don't look at it that way, but narrow my focus. Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. I was looking to narrow my focus at the time. After June, I feel like the focus is going to be pretty narrow, because I'm sure whether or not there's an update to Hades 2 between now and then, I'm going to catch up with Hades 2 if that's the only game I'm primarily playing for half a year. So Hollow Knight, I put probably here in the text, but I almost feel like it's a guarantee, unless my new work schedule is so unforgiving that I'm just not able to hardly stream at all. In which case, I'll have to revisit this. But, yeah, Hades 2, Stardew Valley, and Hollow Knight are looking to be, the quote-unquote Triforce of the second half of 2025. I'm really hoping that by the time 2026 rolls around, I'll be streaming regularly enough that I can make solid plans again. Nothing nearly as ambitious as what I made for the first half of 2026, but there you go. That's really what we're looking at for now. Obviously, this kind of thing is subject to change, but I've made the plan so light that if there are any changes, it's going to be because I feel comfortable adding stuff to it, not necessarily taking things away again. As far as some of the other games that I did plan for this year, like, Tears of the Kingdom, Echoes of Wisdom, all of that, I do hope to tackle those games at some point in the future. It's just not going to be this year. Yeah, like I said, I hate making announcement videos like this. I'm hoping that the second half of 2025 ends up being a little better. Like, maybe I can add some Night Rain or something. But for now, that's the plan. I hope all of y'all have a good one. Stay warm. And, yeah. Until next time, this is Valfia signing out. Oh boy.